What is going up, everyone? Going up, going on, everyone. How are you doing on this fine Thursday night? Just 2 days away from the Game Week 4 deadline. For those talking about slow mode in chat, yes, it's still on because the viewers will likely pick up and the comments will start coming in. But I've changed it to 15 seconds. I think that's fair. If we need to, we can always amend that later on. Yeah, how's it going? I've made my transfers. We'll look at that in a second. What is going up? I don't know. I don't know what's going up. Bad words, basically. AGUERO triple captain. We'll talk about the triple captain. Watching from Northern Ireland. How's it going, Jay? Posty, Jammy, what's up? Change it to 60 seconds. Now, 6 seconds is too long. I don't think... Like, slow mode originally went on because... obviously, we had so many people in the first couple of streams. It's not likely to be that much now. Still going to be a lot, I hope. But probably not as many as before. We'll do what I did on the last stream. Let's just play the sponsor intro and then get on with the questions. There we go. The streams are sponsored by fantasyfootballscout.co.uk. If you want to check them out, there's a link in the description below. You can just click that, check out all the members' benefits, all the free articles, loads of cool stuff over there. So make sure you click that link and go and check them out. Otherwise, obviously my game week rank is now updated since the last stream, the last video. Pretty poor, 2.6 million. Overall rank 344,000. That was a red arrow. Not cool. But that is how I'm lining up. Let me just change it so you can see the substitutes. Hang on a sec. There we go. Obviously, I could play Van Bissaka instead of Bailly. I'll see what Mourinho says tomorrow before I make that decision. Although I can feel like I'm going to get asked that question a lot. Why are you playing Bailly? Paul, how's it going? All the way from New Zealand. Glad you could join us. Jazza too. Keep or sell Bailly. I'm probably going to keep him, to be honest. I don't know if it's worth a hit when I can't afford Alonso. And so I could just play Van Bissaka and bench Bailly. I think Bailly's going to play this week. I know Man United haven't been playing well. I know even David De Gea's not been playing too well. But I just think with the fixtures they got coming up, there's potential for clean sheets there. We'll wait and see what happens. I don't think Crystal Palace have had their press conference yet. I could be wrong. So I'm not sure if we've had any Tompkins news. Perhaps I missed that. Yeah, Burnley are scoring goals. I might change the Van Bissaka. I'm not sure yet. I just feel like Man United should be good for clean sheets. I know they're not, so perhaps I should adapt to that. But I just don't see us not keeping clean sheets for much longer. With the fixtures we got. Then again, maybe we'll be poor all season. Triple captain, yeah, we'll talk about that soon. Jazza, 6,000th place, very nice. You think Bailly's not going to play? Yeah, I mean, I can easily just play Van Bissaka. It's not the end of the world. I think that's an okay fixture this week. Even with Ings on the other side. Daniel, you're down to 150k. That is poor. Not as poor as me, but... Only messing, of course. 150k at this stage of the season is absolutely fine. Let me just sort out this. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, let's see what other questions we got. You're benching Shaw this week. Oh, I don't know if I do that. Attacking potential. I mean, I definitely wouldn't do that, but... I suppose if at his price, you've probably got other players as well that you could play with, maybe better fixtures. And probably better form with when it comes to clean sheets. Burnley are out of Europa League now. They might start picking up then. I think Man United will score this week. I mean, we've got to score against Burnley. The amount of goals they've conceded, surely. Davern into the top 10k, very nice. There's 5 polls tonight, all chosen by you. People that replied to the tweet. Best midfielder around £7 million. With Liverpool's upcoming fixtures. What was that? Oh yeah, it's about Salah and Mane. Is owning Mendy, Robertson and Alonso too much? Man United assets. Best game week 4 captain. Obviously remember, there might be a better captain than you own. E.g., if you think Aguero is the best captain but you don't own him, you can still choose him. Yeah, I've got Lukaku down as differential for my 90 minutes at a time article that I tweeted out earlier. Newcastle have a stronger physical play. You're going to make a mistake triple captaining Aguero. Yeah, I have some thoughts on triple captain. Did you hear about Zaha being out of the Ivory squad coach for friendlies due to personal reasons? I have not, no. The Martial contract talks, I find that a bit odd, to be honest. It seems pretty clear that Mourinho doesn't trust him, doesn't like him, doesn't think he's good or whatever. I don't know what the deal is there. So if the club are choosing to extend his contract, if that actually happens, it's not very good for Mourinho. Hazard, question mark. Personal reason just sounds like he can't be bothered to travel. I mean, that could also be true. Please just sell King. Nah. I don't think Chelsea is a guaranteed clean sheet this week. Yeah, this week. Bournemouth have done pretty well against them recently, in recent seasons. So I wouldn't bet heavily on a Chelsea clean sheet. So King could be involved in that. Obviously, especially if it's a penalty. Turn the music up a bit. And I just think Bournemouth fixtures are pretty good afterwards. I know he's not really performing like Wilson. I just don't think it's worth a hit this week. And I'll probably just keep him the week after as well. I've not really got any plans for the week after yet. Just kind of playing it by ear at this point. Do you think I should put Aguero as triple captain? Alright, gonna get asked that question loads. And even when I answer it now, I'll just keep getting asked it because obviously people will come into the stream. Hang on, let me just note something down here. So I think with not the free hit and not the wild cards, I think they're really powerful chips. I think the bench boost and the triple captain are really good chips, of course. But I think we, and especially me, in the past, probably not as much now, just because they've not done the business for me, probably overplayed just how good they are. And not even necessarily how good they are, but how how many points you can definitely guarantee from getting back from it, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? You could play your triple captain double game week, they could blank both weeks. There's no guarantees in any game week. Now, if you think a player is going to get a brace or a hat-trick, then 12 extra points, 17 extra points from a triple captain, fine? Yeah, absolutely it is. Obviously, we saw Salah score like 4 goals and 1 assist, or 5 goals, 1 assist, something like that last year against, I think it was Watford. Obviously, if you triple captain in, which I know Jeff did, I don't know if he's watching, but usually watches the streams, Jeff triple captained in that week, and obviously that's a monster score. And a few seasons ago, people captained the likes of Aguero and Sanchez in a double game week, and they got 25 points from him. So that's possible too, of course. I don't think it's completely crazy to use it in a single game week. But it's the same as, like, if someone said to me they were using their triple captain this week, I wouldn't say they're crazy. Just like I wouldn't have said they were crazy if they used it on Salah last week against Brighton at home, or if they want to use it, arguably you could save it this week and use it against Fulham after the international break. Because Fulham have conceded quite a bit. They're pretty good attacking wise. But they're not really been defensively sound so far. Whereas Newcastle put up a pretty good fight against Chelsea. Now, Man City are a better team than Chelsea, of course, better attacking team. So yeah, for me, I mean, I've messed up with the triple captainship for the last 3 seasons. I've not got more than 9 points of it, so 9 and then 27. The reason I would hold it for a double game week is because you're giving yourself double the chance to get points. So you're playing the odds. But of course, at this stage of the season, you haven't got the info of who's going to be playing in the double game week, who's going to be fit, who's going to be injured, who's going to be in form. At that point of the season, is Aguero injured? Is he rested? What kind of double game week will those players get? I mean, if you look at, we can't tell for sure, but let's say the double game weeks are usually in game week 34 or 37. The Man City's fixtures are going to be Crystal Palace +1 or Leicester +1, and Liverpool's are going to be, that's if they're in 34 and 37, Chelsea at home or Newcastle away. So Liverpool's don't look fantastic. Obviously, they'll get an extra team out of those. So I don't think it's crazy to use it on Aguero this week. I also don't know how much money I would bet on City destroying him like they destroyed Huddersfield. So that would put me off using it. And to be honest, and I'm this definitely overthinking, I've still got that slight thought in the back of my mind. There's always a chance he doesn't play, which I don't like. But City have absolutely destroyed Newcastle in recent years. Aguero has been at the heart of that. So I wouldn't sit here and tell someone absolutely you cannot use that triple captainship, but I will not be using it because I arguably think that the Fulham game is better for Aguero, even though his past record shows that Newcastle is decent as well, of course. But I'll probably just use it in the double game week and hope that I finally get some good points out of it. Because I feel like that's just playing the odds. But again, if you've got a player that's in great form, which Aguero pretty much is, with a plum home fixture, you get 12 extra points out of it. I think that's okay. And this is where I think the overthinking comes. Not overthinking, but the... what's the word? Basically, the chips get bigged up too much. Let's say you use it in Aguero this week and he gets 12 points. So he gets 2 goals, let's say 13 points, 2 goals and 3 bonus points. So you've got an extra 13 points because most people will captain him who own him. So basically, if you're triple captain, you've gained an extra 13 points. Let's say in a double game week, they do get 25 and the chances of getting much more than 25 is pretty slim. That's basically a brace in 2 games. So all you've missed out on is 12 points. It's not the end of the world. It really isn't. But on the other hand, you're giving yourself 2 games to get those 13 points, whereas 1 game against Newcastle, that's the only game he has to do it, if that makes sense. So it's really not the end of the world if you happen to only get a brace out of it and he misses the hat-trick. And of course, having 12 points is better than not having 12 points. But there's no reason why you couldn't play it in a single game week. That was a very long way of saying play it in a single game week or play it in a double, whatever you want. Basically. But that's my thoughts on the triple captain, which I'm sure I'll have to explain again later. But yeah, I don't know if people agree. I know the record for Aguero speaks really good against Newcastle, but I just think Fulham at home, Aguero's not in the Argentina squad, so he's going to get a break over the international break as well. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the chat right now. And in the comments if you're watching afterwards. So one thing... I haven't set it up actually, have I? Hang on. Hang on a second. I put together if I was wildcarding team. I'd have to do that on the fly though. I haven't really given that too much thought because I don't feel like I need to wildcard. Sorry, just setting something up a minute. Which I think could be handy for this. Okay, now the question is... Bear with me just one sec. Oh, there's my article. All right. You're watching some production on the fly here because I basically forgot to do it before. Oh, no, you're missing my webcam. Okay, this is why I should do it before. All right. So this is the Fantasy Football Scout members area, okay? So one thing you can do is look at team stats. Obviously, you've got to bear in mind who Newcastle have played. But you can look at their defensive stats. And there's loads of stuff here. Again, like I won't go through everything. But you can see how many kind of total shots that teams have conceded in the opening 3 fixtures. So Fulham conceded 49. They're quite high up. Huddersfield have conceded 59. But they've played the likes of Man City. Newcastle only 42. So it's only a little bit below. Obviously, they've played Chelsea as well, which is a tough fixture. And then shots in the box, again, Fulham right at the top, Newcastle a little bit further down. So they're both, on those measurements, they're kind of not the greatest defensively. Obviously, Newcastle sat so far back against Chelsea, they just invited shots, of course. But I don't know, I just feel like Fulham have conceded quite a few. And I don't think, let me just double check. Yeah, I mean, they've played Spurs, to be fair, so they've also had a pretty difficult fixture. There were others with Crystal Palace and Burnley. But still, those two defences, I don't know, I just feel like Fulham could be the better fixture. But anyway, if you want to check out that kind of thing, you can check it out. Click the link in the description below. But just thought I'd show you that's something you can do. So Newcastle, slightly better performance so far, but they've both played fairly strong teams. So I don't know. I think the next 2 fixtures for Aguero are pretty good. Will I actually use it? No, pretty much no chance. But maybe I use it against Fulham as a little bit of a differential. Not even a differential, a bit more of a punt. Anyway, it's spent about 10 minutes talking about that. Apologise if you got no interest in triple captain Aguero. Yeah, and Arnautovic is fit according. Even West Ham were tweeting about that. What do I think about Mendy captain? I mean, my opinions on Mendy captain will never change. I don't think. Yeah, even after his 15-point haul, and then having Huddersfield next game, I still don't want to captain him. Yes, he can get attack and returns, and yes, I feel like he's got good clean sheet chances coming over the next 4 game weeks. So of course there could be some monster hauls. You know, if he gets 1 or 2 assists more in another game, plus a clean sheet, bonus points, it's a big haul. But even Mendy, like 2 assists per game, I mean, how often can he really do that? Does he have as much goal threat? I don't know. I'd have to check the stats how far behind like Alonso he is. He's probably not that far behind, but it looks more like potential for assists rather than goals. And obviously, all it takes is one little mistake where they concede a goal. That's his clean sheet's gone, and that's a lot of bonus points gone from not keeping the clean sheet. So I just wouldn't captain him. I just think the ceilings are higher for the attackers. It's not even that the ceilings are higher, because we've seen Mendy get 15 points already. I think that and ease is the wrong word, but the ability to get that higher ceiling is higher for an attacker, for a defender. So my opinion will probably never change on that, unless they change the way defenders score points or get bonus points or something. Then maybe I'd go for it, but not Mendy captain, not for me. I think it's just trying to be too clever. Really nice if it pays off. But what is the chances that Mendy strongly outscores Aguero or Salah? I don't think it's that high week to week. When can you think about dropping Aubameyang if he doesn't perform? Yeah, I keep saying this, but Aubameyang is a tough one to call. I think a lot of it depends on. Welbeck's got more points than Aubameyang. I think a lot of it depends on who else you don't have. So if you're missing the likes of Salah or Aguero because you've got Aubameyang and you need the money to fund one of those 2 players, then you should probably make the move, I think, even with Cardiff at home. But Cardiff are not going to be attacking. They're going to sit back and defend against Arsenal, you'd imagine. So it could be tough for Arsenal to get a lot of points there, a lot of goals there. And the Newcastle away is probably not going to be that easy either. So it's not like their fixtures are good, but they're not amazing. Then it's Everton and Watford at home; they're okay. So for me, it depends. If you've not got Aguero, I would be looking to make that move probably. So I think it all depends on who you have and haven't got. De Gea to Ederson for a hit. That doesn't feel like a hit that is needed. Is Ederson more likely to get the clean sheet this week? Yes. He's cheaper, so if you need to fund a move, maybe you could think about it. As a general rule, I don't feel like that's worth a hit personally. I think there's a danger of persevering too much with Aubameyang. His fixtures are way too appealing. He'd get so many reprieves. Yeah, no, you're right. And that's one of the key decisions you have to make as an FPL manager. How long do you hold on? I mean, for me, probably 3 to 4 game weeks, and I would start getting frustrated with a player generally. Now, depending on the price, like for King, obviously he's scored now, so I feel like he's got a bit more time to score again because he's cheaper. But when you're holding someone like Aubameyang, he's taking up so much of your budget. Like if he doesn't do anything this week, then unless there's injuries to the likes of Kane and Aguero, and you happen to have loads of spare money, you could possibly keep on a hold of him. But at that point, 4 game weeks for a player that did cost 11 million, it's just too much, I think. Especially when there's other players performing. I mean, Hazard could go mad this week and suddenly he'd be the next bandwagon. And he's cheaper than Aubameyang. Okay, thoughts on Jesse Lingard as a replacement for Richarlison? He was forward versus Spurs, and United have good fixtures. Could be a good differential. So I'll try and answer this as neutral as possible. So I do agree that Jesse Lingard is a differential. Now, he's arguably a differential for a good reason. Because obviously Man United aren't playing too well. And we just don't know where the goals are going to come from. He did play quite far forward against Spurs, but I wouldn't necessarily expect him to be as far forward. We probably won't play the same formation again. Even if we play maybe a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 or something like that, he could still be occupying like a number 10 position. So I do think he's a nice differential this week because Burnley aren't keeping clean sheets. Usually I wouldn't back someone away to Burnley, even Man City. I would still think they'll score, but the amount they'll score will be limited. So I think Lingard will play. I think Burnley are going to concede goals. He did look good against Spurs. His stats were good. He's only 6.9 million. The problem is Man United, of course, are not looking great. They're not putting chances away. So I don't know. You're right. It's a differential. It's a punt. I think if you've got your wild card still to fall back on and it goes wrong against Burnley, who are conceding goals. I think they've conceded 7 in the first 3. I think he's a nice option. But there is, if you want to use the word, safer options. Walcott, Pedro, Mkhitaryan, arguably even Lucas Moura. Yeah, as Adam says as well, Burnley going to be tired. They've played another Europa League game. They're out. How will they react to going out? If I had the money, I would have really looked at Lingard this week, but I mean, that's me. I think just one more thing on Man United is, I mean, the last game was the first time we've kind of got most of our first 11 back. So like some Matic and Valencia, they only just came back. Maybe they're a little bit rusty. So I think in the next game, you'll see Sanchez back as well. So it'll probably be more like a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3 if he wants to try and unleash Pogba a bit more. Maybe have Matic and Fred there, or Matic and Herrera, whoever it may be. I assume it'll be Matic and Fred. So yeah, it could be good for Lingard. He had a really good spell last year. I think he's come off the World Cup where he played well. So yeah, I think he's a good little option if you really want to punt. But to be honest, even let me just check his ownership a sec. Yeah, I mean, even Lucas Moura is still only owned by less than 10%, 9.8%. So I mean, he's still a differential in my eyes. But the only problem... Sorry, we'll answer that in a sec, that question up from Byrie. The only issue I suppose with Moore is if Son doesn't have to go to military, do military service, then how quickly will he get his spot back? Because Son's been pretty integral part to that first 11 for a good few seasons now. But it will be hard for Pochettino to drop more in the form he's in, especially if they're going to keep playing that 3-4-2. Byrie, thanks for the donation. Milivojevic is a differential. What is his ownership? I bet overall his ownership's not that low because he did so well last year. 5.9%, so he's a bit of a differential. So Palace have got good fixtures, granted. You're really relying on penalties. Now with Zaha playing up front, that can happen for sure. I just think for 6.4 million, you're relying on penalties for a player that did really well when he was only priced at 5 or 5.5 last year. I still think it's just too expensive personally to rely on pretty much penalties. Yes, he's got free kicks. Maybe he'll score one of those. I mean, to be honest, as a cheeky little differential from Palace, and this is a punt for sure. I would almost be tempted for 0.5 million less for Townsend at 5.9 million. I don't know. Milivojevic, not for me personally. Why wouldn't you play Van Bissaka over King? I don't like benching my attackers, to be honest. As much as I take this game seriously, do streams or whatever, I just don't like the thought of cheering for a clean sheet versus cheering for a goal for my striker. I think people get caught out on that quite a bit. And I'll probably end up playing Van Bissaka instead of Bailly anyway. Why is nobody taking Trippier for a 4 million bench player and benching Richarlison? Wait, what? Are you saying swap Richarlison to a bench player? Van Bissaka or Trippier in your start 11 for this week? I don't know why I'm looking at the fixtures because, again, I will always back a premium defender, but I'm just going to double check who Spurs are playing because I can't remember, to be honest. Oh, Watford away. So, everyone talks about records, Hazard's got a really good record against Bournemouth, Aguero's got a really good record against Newcastle. Trippier, if you follow Apple Bonkers on Twitter, he's a Watford fan. And every time Spurs play Watford, he always mentions Trippier because he always gets assists against them. So, I wouldn't bench Trippier even if he was playing Man City, to be honest. I just think he's on set pieces, taking direct free kicks, potential for assists, especially to Kane, and a good chance of a clean sheet, I would say. So, I would 100% play Trippier over Van Bissaka personally. Defender clean sheet can be gone in the first minute, but you can always hope with a striker. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Is Zuma a good pick? How much is he actually? I bet he's quite expensive because he was at Chelsea, wasn't he? 5 million. I mean, he's not even guaranteed to play because hasn't Holgate started? Let me just double check. Yeah, Holgate started the last two. Jagielka will be back at some point. I suppose Keane is injured. So Zuma likely to play this week. Just looking at who else they got. Yeah, Zuma are likely to play this week, but longer term, I just think that's a very, very short term move for a defence that's not really keeping clean sheets. And when I say not really, I mean hasn't kept a clean sheet. And with Mina and Keane now injured, I would expect even less clean sheets, personally. Even though Huddersfield is a good fixture. Am I looking to get in on Fraser after this week because of his underlying numbers? So I'm probably not, unless Mkhitaryan needs to go. I probably won't get Fraser, but I do think I've made a mistake with him, potentially. Now, I can't panic too much about Walcott right now because he's got really good fixtures coming up. He's in good form. Let's see how he plays with 11 men on the pitch. Silva's still going to want to attack even without Richarlison. So I'm not completely regretting Walcott, but if Fraser wasn't playing Chelsea this week, I almost certainly would have got him in and Alonso for a hit. Instead of the reason I didn't get Fraser is I didn't want to bring him in to play against Chelsea, and I was bringing in a Chelsea defender at the same time. But how good, the form that Fraser in is awesome. Bournemouth are creating so many big chances. I think Fraser has created like 5 big chances already. And I think Bournemouth, like I said earlier, I don't think it's a guaranteed clean sheet for Chelsea. So I could have just gone for attacking returns from Fraser and Alonso. So I may have made a mistake there. I think Fraser for 5 point... Is he still 5.6? Let me just double check. Yeah, he's still 5.6. I think he's going to be great value, to be honest. And I have already looked at Mkhitaryan to him and then use that money to maybe get Alonso and just keep Walcott. So I'm not getting cold feet on Mkhitaryan just yet. Excuse me. But I think... I think Fraser looks really good. I think a few people backed him at the start of the season, and fair play if you did. If you've got like stats access to like the scout and places like that, just go and check out how good Fraser is doing right now. For 5.6 million, it looks really good. Hey Carl, how's it doing? Oh my god, I can't speak, Carl. That's how well I'm doing tonight. No, I'm doing good. How about yourself? Got a bit of a tickly throat all of a sudden. Yeah, what did you miss? We talked about Aguero triple captain for a while. Lingard as a differential. Trippier, how good he is. What's up with Ings? Blister, they're monitoring. I'm assuming he's probably going to play. I mean, how big is that blister? Why am I not looking at Mitrovic? Let's just pull up his fixtures just for a sec. Usually I've got fixtures much more memorised by now, but they've got Man City, haven't they? Yeah, so his next 2 fixtures are Brighton away and Man City away. So I think he could do... I thought he was only owned by 1.5%, and I was clicked on Callum Chambers instead. Still only owned by 12%. So Brighton away, yeah, he could get something there. Man City away is going to be tough. But obviously, he has caused defences problems already. Spurs and Crystal Palace, and of course Burnley in the last game. So I do like Mitrovic, but it's just a case of, yeah, he'd be good, but I don't want to get rid of Zaha just yet. I know Mitrovic has been doing better, but Zaha's got the fixtures to come. And then King, yeah, okay, Mitrovic is probably a better option, but is he a better option over the next 2? I don't think it's massive. I don't think it's worth a hit. So, as I've kind of said a few times and on the Scoutcast stuff, in an ideal world, yeah, of course I'd have the best team possible every week, but you've got to keep in mind that you can only make so many transfers. Will say Mitrovic in the season I had him, maybe whenever Leicester won the league, 2 or 3 years ago now. I bought Mitrovic in the week he played Man City and he scored. They lost like 5-1 or something when he was playing for Newcastle. Yeah, not denying that Mitrovic is a good option, but for my personal team, I just don't feel it's worth a hit to get him in over King when he then plays Man City away the week after, and King has Leicester at home. Lingard will be the talk of Game Week 4. Oh, we talked about him already. I think he's a little bit of a differential option. But I mean, most people aren't going to go for him because he's not the safe option. 1,000 people watching, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. If you haven't already, click that like button if you're enjoying the stream. And make sure to subscribe if you're new around here. Always appreciated. Mane's away record against the top 6 is very bad. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like to give you some insight of a few things I've started looking at, and I mean, potentially I'm not too far away from a wild card if I want to do all of this, but Mane to Hazard, Mkhitaryan to Fraser to fund Alonso, Bayer would probably go for that. Yes, King to Mitrovic eventually. Probably not looking at Aubameyang, but maybe looking at Spurs players soon. Ali, for example, 9 million. So there's quite a bit I could change. I'm not sure I'm too comfortable about having Salah and Mane for their run-up coming. I think for the next 3 fixtures I'm okay with it. And then I'll reassess. I'm not going to get rid of Salah. Although his price is probably not going to fluctuate too much. So I could potentially go for it and risk it. But seriously, he's been scoring so well. I just don't see why I'd take that risk. So I don't think those points are going to dry up. So yeah, Mane... not looking at necessarily getting rid of him straight away. I think Leicester away, then Liverpool, then Southampton, I want to say. Yeah, obviously the next 2 are away games, which is the only problem. But it's not necessarily a problem, to be honest. Especially if they can play a bit of counter-attacking football, which they're awesome at. And then Southampton at home is a good fixture. But then it is Chelsea away and Man City at home. So in the next 5, they've got Man City, Chelsea and Spurs and Leicester away. I mean, that is tough. But the next 3, Leicester, Spurs and Southampton, I'm okay with that. And then we'll see. Why haven't I considered Arsenal defenders? I mean, I don't know how many... I mean, they've got the good fixtures coming up. I don't know how many clean sheets they've got in them. Is the problem. I don't even necessarily need to see some clean sheets, but like some evidence that clean sheets might be around the corner. They've conceded so many shots. Now, they did open up with 2 fairly difficult fixtures, to be fair. But let's just see how they get on. I don't think there's a rush to bring those Arsenal players in. Bellerin I do like, though. I think he's going to be really attacking under Emery. And so I do like him at 5.5. Don't think he's gone up yet. But yeah, just not really in a rush to bring him in. Is Arnautovic worth keeping even with the fixtures? So I feel like if you've got Arnautovic, you would have known these fixtures were coming. They're not great, but I think you can keep him for the next 2. So Wolves at home and Everton away. Then maybe you could reassess. Because after that, yes, he's got home games, but it's Chelsea, United and Spurs in the next 4. So I'd probably keep him for the next 2. And then see how he's looking. What music do I listen to? I just listen to old rubbish I always listen to, like at school or whatever. Nothing new. I don't listen to like any current rap music, no. I mean, what's on right now is just no copyrights music. Okay, what else have we got? When would Kane become essential? Would he ever become essential? I mean, for Kane to become essential, I think he has to be scoring tons of points every week. Not tons, but, you know, be really consistent. Want to see bonus points coming out of him, the odd assist here or there. You know, if he's starting to score double figures every week, then he starts to become a bit... I don't know, essential, I don't know if I like that for Kane, but he has looked essential in the past. So let's say he starts getting a couple of double-figure hauls every week. Then, of course, starts to look a bit more essential. But Aguero and Salah also have to stop performing because it's very hard to fit all 3 of them in and have a very good overall balance to your squad. Not even a balance, but just having good value players. Like, you probably can't afford... People have got Robertson, Mendy and Alonso right now. I don't think they can have those 3 and Kane, Salah or Aguero without severely hurting midfield. So, we'll see. At some point, I'm sure I'll have Kane in my team. We're very surprised if I go a whole season without having a guy that, you know, gets 25 plus goals every season. But I'm not really looking at him right now still. But caveat to that is he does have 3 game weeks in a row soon, which is Brighton, Huddersfield and Cardiff. Now, the Brighton and Huddersfield games are away. I'm sure they'll try and shut up shop where they can. But Brighton, Huddersfield and Cardiff at home then is a pretty nice run. So we'll see. But again, if Aguero is still firing, I just can't fit Kane in easily. I'm looking at Mane to Robertson and trying to work out how much money that would be. Mane to Fraser, then Zaha to Kane. I don't think it quite works, although I will check right now how far off that I am. I think I'm about $1 million at least off. Yeah, I could get a 4.5 million defender in for Mane and then just get Zaha to Kane. So that's an option. Just play 4-4-2. Job done. Or 4-3-3, sorry. But I still wouldn't have Alonso. And I'd have to be playing Wan-Bissaka and Bailly every week. As well as Mkhitaryan, Walcott and Salah. It's just, ugly. The only way to get Kane is to bin Salah, and that's not something that... Yeah, exactly. Why is Salah scoring points? Like, why would you? Like, right now, there's... Okay, fixtures-wise, you could argue, of course. But just generally how they're playing, there's just no... I just don't see much evidence that's going to show Salah slowing down to the point where Kane becomes absolutely essential over him. And if it's between 2 very highly priced players, like Salah and Kane, I'll just go for the midfielder, especially the midfielder that averaged over 8 points a game last year, which is crazy. Thoughts on Sterling? I mean, Sterling, like most... maybe not like most Man City mids, to be fair. He's probably a step above most of them, apart from De Bruyne. If Sterling plays, there's points in it. There's points against Newcastle at home. There's points against Fulham at home. Did get rotated in game week 2. I think it was game week 2. And then was back in game week 3. So that... I don't know if we ever really got word from Pep on why he was rotated. I mean, it could have just been tactical. It probably was because they played 2 strikers to try and get in and behind Huddersfield. I think it was, yeah. My mind's going blank. So perhaps that's why. But just how often is that going to happen? Where he gets rotated for 11 million? It's frustrating, like, every time he gets rotated. And you can say, of course, you've got the bench to cover it. But if you spend that 11 million, you want them to play most weeks. And I know Aguero is potentially in that bucket too. But let's just see first, because he's not been rotated yet. And yeah, I kind of agree with what's being said in chat. Sterling, I don't think he's overpriced because you can't guarantee he's going to play. If he was going to play all the time, then he's not overpriced. I think he can match the score he got last year. And that 11 million, that's probably worth it in a team that just scores goals every week. So if you've got him, I'd probably keep him for Newcastle and Fulham. But I don't know if I'll be looking at getting him in. I just think Hazard's absolutely nailed on penalties, and he also has 2 good fixtures coming up. So I'd probably lean that way personally. Thoughts on Mane to Hazard? Yeah, I think it's... I can see why people are doing it. I've kind of said this already. I can see why people are doing it. I just don't know if Mane's fixtures and form warrants that transfer just yet. But if you want to get on Hazard before everyone else does, then Bournemouth at home is a great fixture to do it in. Clicked on the video to see an Aguero discussion. If you rewind back to about 13 minutes in, you can see the Aguero discussion. It's about 10 minutes long. Hey Luke, how's it going? What FPL podcasts or videos do you regularly take in? I mean, it depends what you define as regularly. I was actually chatting to Tom, who got the assist this morning. And I was kind of saying, like, I listen to their stuff. I don't necessarily listen to it every week. I listen to FS Surgery. I don't necessarily listen to it every week. FPL Family, J&O, I sometimes tune into, especially when he's on in the afternoon on YouTube. Always cheating, but like I won't sit here and pretend that I listen and watch every video they do, because there is so much that it's just non-stop FPL. And when I do 2 streams and a video and sometimes the Scoutcast, sometimes you just want to switch off from FPL, to be honest. So they're the ones that I usually watch from or listen to if I'm going to. But there's loads of others as well, which I've listened to kind of sporadically. But regularly, like every week, I don't want to sit here and pretend I do when I don't necessarily. But the ones I mentioned are all good stuff. And to be fair, there's probably loads of other stuff out there that I just not yet watched. And of course, if I'm not on the Scoutcast, I'm watching it. Good luck, Sam, in the new job. I don't know who Sam is, but good luck. What am I drinking? Water. Yeah, FPL General as well. Again, yeah, I've listened to this podcast last season and this season. There's no reason I don't like saying what I listen to, because I always miss people. What beer do I drink? I had a few drinks on Saturday. I like the Galway Bay Brewery. Do some nice IPAs. FPL Family on the FPL show. You're on next week. I'm not going to be on there. So start the right now. Only messing, of course. Polls. Yeah, Daniel, don't worry. I'm seeing your message about the polls. We'll do the polls in about 10 minutes. If you've not already voted, click the little eye in the top right hand corner. Hover over it, click into it, and then vote on the polls. And we'll do them in about 10 minutes. And while you're at that, if you haven't already, hit that like button if you're enjoying the stream. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. Cool start I found today. In United versus Spurs, 5 United players had 3 or more goal attempts. Only 1 Spurs player, Ali, did this. Yeah, I think Ali looks good. Although his stats aren't great, actually. If you go and check them, they're not amazing. But he's had a lot of big chances, I think, from what I remember. So yeah, I like Ali, to be honest. I think he's going to be good over there. They're better fixtures that are coming up. When am I joining the FPL official scout team? No idea. There's lots of already good people in there, so not enough room in the squad. What's my rank goal? Goal rank. Rank goal. I mean, top 5k would be nice. I'd like another top 5k finish. I've had a couple top 10s, or close to top 10. I'd like top 5. I mean, of course, I'd like top 1,000, top 100, win it. But yeah, top 5k would be nice. Just to kind of get in and say I've done it again. Is Ali at 9.1 million too expensive? He might be like right now with the way our squads are set up. And obviously not everyone's squads is going to be in the same kind of way as mine. But looking at mine, like, is Ali... I don't know if he's too expensive. I wouldn't say that, but I just think... Like right now I'm happy with Mane. For example, if I was trying to fit him into this team, I'm happy with Mane, I'm happy with Salah. I can't afford to swap him in for anyone else. So I wouldn't be going for him. But I don't think he's too expensive. I wouldn't say that. I think he could be a nice little differential. I mean, who have they got? Let me just double check. Harry Kane. Watford away. I think that's an okay fixture. Liverpool at home could be tough. Then it's Brighton, Huddersfield, Cardiff. I think over the next 5 fixtures, Ali could outscore Mane. Now, I know the next question is going to be, well, if you think that, why don't you swap Mane to Ali? But of course, I've only got a limited amount of transfers, so... Talk about Ings. I don't know if there's too much to say about Ings, really. Has a blister. He's going to be monitored. I don't think Hughes kind of implied that he was more on the side of having to rest him or that he was going to be out. So I would, if you've got him, I'd probably just play him. Unless we hear any more news. You haven't used any chips when you're in the top 4k. Very well played, Aiden. Have I watched the Man City documentary? I haven't. I really need to watch it. Yeah, I really need to watch it. Some very good reviews. I need to wait till I need to order something from Amazon Prime. Really tempted to captain Aguero, but I want to stick with Salah. Just go with who you think's best. I mean, I'm going Aguero. I think he's got a chance of scoring more than Salah this week. But Salah against Leicester is not a bad captaincy. So if you feel that Salah's going to score more, go for it. And not last year, but the year before, I think. So whenever Sanchez was at Arsenal and doing really well, it was when Ibra was in there and Sanchez was at Arsenal doing really well. Basically, whenever I was stuck between the two and I thought it was close, I just went for the midfielder every time. How's it going, Fozzie? It's on YouTube, is it? No, but I kind of want to pay for it because it looks good. First time watching, how's it going? Abraham, I think. Luke, you playing Modern Warfare 2. How is it? I actually, we can talk about games at the end, but I actually went to buy it earlier, but it was saying it was like €30, which seemed expensive, but apparently it's on offer for 15 quid, so maybe I misread or didn't click the right button or something. Will I triple captain Aguero? Maybe in a double game week. I've already changed Pogba for Mora. A good move. I don't know if I would have gotten rid of Pogba personally, but the form Mora's in could do well against Watford. Am I a fan of online poker? Nah, I'm not good with poker because I'm not patient enough. I just end up going all in too early on and everyone just calls your bluff and then it's all over. Whenever I'm undecided on captain, you always captain the home player. Yep, it's another fair reasoning. More fair reasoning. More fair reasoning. You know what I'm saying. How many total points do you have? I'm always surprised when people want to know that. I always thought rank would be enough. 204 points. You have no players on Sunday. Is there another Monday night game? Oh, there isn't. Yes. Okay, so I can stream on Sunday, which is awesome. Yeah, I don't think I've got any players. Oh, I've got Bailly, I guess, if he plays. That's it. No Spurs, no Watford. I kind of like that. We should do a match of the day reaction stream. Could actually stream potentially. If I had a better way of watching the football here live, like if I had my Skybox up here, I'd be tempted to do that. The only way I could do it is on a stream, and then I'd be delayed, and everyone would tell me in the chat who's just scored. See you later, Adam. Thanks for tuning in. Arsenal play Sunday. Yeah, but I've not got. Oh, Mkhitaryan. Okay. Woohoo. Yep. Sorry. My bad. You bet Aguero won't do anything. If you think he's not going to do anything, captain someone else. Yeah, I've looked at maybe getting Sky Q, because that kind of, you can move that box around really easily. And I want to just do a match day stream just to see how popular it is before doing it full time. Well, I'd never be able to do it full time, but still. You're going to the Cardiff Arsenal game, so you'll be writing a full Arsenal assets report. Oh, nice. It'd be really interesting to see how kind of the likes of Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan do. And Ramsey if he plays and Bellerin. Am I getting Salah out? Absolutely no chance. Alright, 1 more minute until we do the poll. So if you've not voted already, top right hand corner, click the little eye, vote to your heart's content. Etc, etc. Yeah, no, I can definitely stream the game on the computer, but I'd then be watching a game that will be delayed, and everyone else will just tell me who scored. I'd rather watch it in real time. Matchday stream will get you the highest ever numbers. I'm not convinced it would, to be honest, because I think Aguero's the early game as well, isn't he? Oh no, sorry. 5:30 game. Yeah, I definitely can't watch that one. I don't have BT. Instagram's going okay, although I've forgotten to post recently. I don't know why. I just find it's because it's not on the phone. I find Twitter much easier, to be honest. So I'll always be posting on there. Have I heard of Pereira? I have, yes. Is Zaha a good gamble for captain? If you really want to take the risk, then yeah, he's got a good fixture. 2 goals in 3. I'd like to see some bonus points out of him and no yellow cards though. Mkhitaryan or Mora, I think I'd still just about go for Mkhitaryan. I've still got some slight concerns over Mora about longevity of him staying in that first 11. Although, again, with the form he's in, it would be harsh to drop him. Thoughts on Keita? Is it Keita? Keita? I've still not learnt it. I think he's okay price. I think, yeah, he'll tick over points this season just because of how kind of how involved he gets in the attack. But I don't know if he's worth using a Liverpool spot on, and Liverpool's fixture is about to tighten up, so I don't think now is a good time to bring him in. Yes, let's do the polls. My bad. Polls and then a quick fire. I mean, I suppose it's not a quick fire. It's as long as I set the timer for. Stevens versus Fraser. Fraser does have the fixture, but I just think Fraser is much more likely to get you points. I swear you get 3 o'clock games where you are. That would be better as you can react to the game, as I can't watch those. Yeah, fair enough points. The 3 o'clock game actually this week is Chelsea. So I don't really want to watch that because I've not got Alonso. But I suppose that would make for good viewing. But the thing is, it's just not going to happen this week because, well, unless I watch it on the stream. Maybe. I don't know. I'll see what's going on with the family and stuff. I'll see what's going on. Okay. Oh, someone's just Joe P. I don't know if he's in the chat, but he just sent me Liverpool's fixtures. So it basically goes Spurs away, 3 days later Paris Saint-Germain at home, then Southampton at home, then Chelsea at home, Chelsea away. So sorry, it's Spurs away in the Premier League, Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League, Southampton in the Premier League, Chelsea in the League Cup, Chelsea in the Premier League, Napoli in the Champions League, and then Man City in the Premier League. That is a tough set of fixtures. I mean, if you really wanted to be ballsy, you could get rid of Salah and see what happens. Oh, Henry, goodbye. Okay. Pose, yeah, for real this time. Oh, could I wild card Salah out after the international break? Could I just transfer Salah out? Now that would be interesting. I mean, what could you do with Salah out money? Salah and Mane and buy out for Alonso, Hazard plus anyone I really want. Ali maybe not against Liverpool though. Interesting. When someone's message gets deleted, they really want. I mean, if you think about how many times I or the mods delete messages in the chat, it's not very often. So just get the odd idiot here or there. Okay, polls. Best midfielder around 7 million. Who did I put in? Pedro, Walcott, Mkhitaryan and Mora. So Walcott's going to be the highest, like 50-ish%. And then Pedro around, well, maybe Mkhitaryan actually, around 20-ish. Anyway, let's have a look. Oh, wow. Okay. I suppose it was 7. Yeah, no, fair enough. I got this wrong. So Mkhitaryan, 36% is the highest. So at 7 million, out of Mkhitaryan, Mora, Walcott, Pedro, or someone else, Mkhitaryan is the highest. Then it's Mora at 23%. Walcott only in at 22%. So only the third most popular on this stream. Then Pedro 13%, and then someone else at 4%. There you go. Mkhitaryan's still in everyone's good books. With Liverpool's upcoming fixtures, do you keep Salah? Do you keep Mane? Do you keep both? Do you keep neither? So I think this is going to be definitely Salah. So Salah's going to be the top 40-ish%, I would say. Let's have a look. So just own Salah, 52%. Owning both, people are still saying 31%, so that's still quite high. I guess there's a lot of people that own them, so they're going to stick with them. 11% saying you can still just own Mane, and 3% own no one. None of them, sorry. Is owning Mendy, Robertson, Alonso too much? Again, I think this is going to be, the answer is going to be no, because a lot of people do own them. Probably going to be closer. I'd say it's like going to be like 52-48. Oof. Is owning Mendy, Robertson, Alonso too much? 74% of people said no. 25% said yes. There's a big love for premium defenders right now. Man City assets. This is going to be heavily get rid of them. So 74% saying sell, 21% saying keep, 3% saying buy. I mean, if you've got defenders, I think there's a good argument for keeping them, to be honest. And even if you've got their attackers against Burnley, I don't know if keep 21% is probably a bit low, but granted, in the form that we're in, I can see why people are saying sell. And best game week 4 captain, so Aguero's going to win this. I'd say about, because I think Hazard's a good option this week, so I'll say Aguero about 60%, then Salah about 25, and then Hazard just behind. Okay, wrong again. I've actually been pretty good on polls in the last few streams, not today. Aguero, 83% captain, Hazard 6%, and then Salah at 5%. So people liking Hazard again better than Salah, fair enough with the fixture. And then 3% Aubameyang and about 5 people for someone else. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to not owning Alonso this week, I've got to be honest. All right, for the quick fire, let's get Candyland back on. Okay. Give me just a second. What do I need to do? Get rid of that. While I'm doing this, if you haven't already and you are enjoying the stream, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you are new around here. I'll just set up the countdown timer. The thing with that Salah run is, it's only really the Southampton game that you'd feel like you'd have to captain him in, which is game week 6. Who else has a good fixture there? Man United have Wolves. Granted, we're probably not going to own Man United players. Who do Man City have Cardiff away? So, I mean, am I going to be worried about Captain Aguero against Cardiff away? No. And who do Spurs have? Brighton away. So again, I could just own Kane instead of Salah. Oh, that is going to be such a big talking point. After the Spurs game, honestly. Salah out, Kane in. I'm very tempted. But then he's probably going to play most. He's probably going to play most games. Anyway, sorry. There's a quick fire. So I'm going to try and answer as many questions as possible in 5 minutes, as quickly as possible. Okay. Okay, let me see if this works. Ta-da! Amazing. Amazing. If a wildcard, who are my priorities? We'll talk about that. Well, okay, I could just answer that here. Okay. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. We're off. 5 minutes. Ings or Raul Jimenez? It has to be Jimenez with Ings having a blister. Salah to Hazard, Richarlison to David Silva. Crazy. Not crazy. I would say not crazy. Missed game week 1. What's the average points I should be getting week 2? You want to aim for at least 50 plus. Start King or Van Bissaka. I'm going to start King. Start Ings or Van Bissaka. I would probably start Ings. Surely, yes or no? I'm still a bit worried they got rotating in game week 2. I don't know if that's going to keep on happening. So I'll say I'm steering clear for now. When would you be looking to offload Aubameyang? I answered this earlier. It depends on who you don't have. If you've not got the likes of Aguero and stuff, I'd be looking to maybe offload him this week. Zaha or Wilson? Wilson, I think. Although not this weekend. Zaha this weekend and then switch. Obviously, he's not going to do that, but you know what I'm saying. Mkhitaryan out, Ramsey. And no, I think that's a bit too sideways. Modern Warfare or Black Ops? Modern Warfare for sure. Aubameyang or Hazard? Hazard this week. Mahrez gamble week 4, yes or no? No, there's no guarantee he's going to play. Gross or Lingard? Lingard. Do I want Son to win the Asia Cup? Yeah. Just because I like him, to be honest, more than worrying about him coming back. Aubameyang or Hazard differential as captain? It's got to be Hazard. Am I worried about my rank? No, it's way too early to be worrying about rank. If I'm still this rank in like week 28, then definitely, yeah. Even in week 20, I'd be a bit worried. Arnie or Zaha? Zaha this week. And in the short to medium term. Johnny or Joe? Joe. Ericsson or David Silva? David Silva, I think. Luiz to Alonso for a hit. Oh, that's so sideways. I'm gonna say no, but Alonso really could punish you. Hazard for Salah just for this week. The thing is, it's using a transfer to then maybe get him back. So depends if you want to use those transfers. But yeah, Hazard could outscore Salah this week for sure. Shaw or Van Bissaka? I mean, Van Bissaka's got probably the better fixture for a clean sheet, but I wouldn't like to bench Shaw. Pineapple, no pineapple? No pineapple for sure. Bolly or Sacco? Who have Wolves got? I'm going to say Sacco probably. Sacco's so good for bonus points, especially if Tompkins is back. Yeah, Sacco. Why is my message not showing? It is showing. Short or Ings? I usually always play the attacker, to be honest. Does Moreno start game week 4? Klopp hinted at rotation. I would seriously doubt it. But with those Champions League, with those fixtures, definitely could be coming. Walcott or Mkhitaryan? Mkhitaryan, I think. Come second in FPL every year or win it once? Probably win it. Yeah, it has to be win it once, doesn't it? But it would. Oh, sugar. Sorry. It would depend. I always do that. It would depend on what positions I'm finishing every year outside of that number one. Mourinho in or Mourinho out? Mourinho in. Tozen or Zaha? Again, Zaha. I mean, Zaha I think has got a really good run of fixtures. He's in okay form. Obviously, bonus points and yellow cards are a problem, but generally I think he's a really good option. Do you still fear the Aguero rotation risk? And not enough to not captain him. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, coming the second every year would get annoying. Robertson for Trippier, given Liverpool's fixtures. Trippier could do well, but I mean, there's definitely chance of rotation there as well. Is owning several defenders a one-season trend? I mean, you got to own 5 every year, so no. I know what you're probably asking about premiums, but we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Do I wish I didn't need Jerk Walcott? If I could change it right now, I'd probably go Fraser and Alonso for a hit. But I'm not completely unhappy with having Walcott. And I think even if I'd gone the other way, if I'd gone Fraser and Alonso, I'd probably regret not getting Walcott a little bit. Sanchez a hazard, definitely a hazard. Best 4.5 million mid. I don't know if that's really changed, has it? I've not checked to see if there's anyone suddenly better. I mean, I don't know if this Guendouzi fella is really that much of a better option than anyone else. I'm still happy enough with Stevens. Would Pogba or Valencia be in your plans given United have most of their first 11 back? Pogba, possibly. Valencia, no. I think he's too expensive. When should we use the wildcard? When do you think you need it? I mean, for example, right? Let's just say next week I do well enough in game week 4. I think my team's okay for game week 5. But let's say I think Liverpool are gonna not struggle, but not do amazingly well over the next few fixtures, and potentially if Salah's ever not gonna do okay, it could be over this next set of fixtures. Could even wildcard from a point of strength and try and just get onto the next set of bandwagons. But again, I don't know how much I would change from this team. I'd maybe just take a hit or two if I really thought that getting rid of Salah was a good idea. But I don't know if I ever think getting rid of Salah for a hit is a bad idea, is a good idea. And also, because the fixtures are so tough, arguably they may need Salah more than if they were easier. So I don't know if it's a guarantee that he goes out. Okay, people. What's a bandwagon? Bandwagon's like when someone does really well in a game week and then suddenly everyone's buying him. So Walcott was a bandwagon this week because no one was really considering him because they had Richarlison, and then Richarlison gets injured and boom, suddenly everyone's buying Walcott. Or starting off the season, a lot of us would have had, more people had Salah than Mane. Mane scores 2 goals, suddenly he's the next bandwagon, everyone's transferring him in. Anyway, people, I think I'm going to wrap it up-ish there. Stay on for another 4 or 5 minutes if people want to talk about anything else. I know people were talking about Modern Warfare 2 and stuff. So if there's any non-FPL stuff you want to chat about, let's just do it for the next 4 or 5 minutes. Otherwise, for the FPL stuff, or for the main FPL stuff, the mainstream stuff, I would say that is it. Thanks very much for tuning in. If you haven't already, again, hit that like button. It'd be much appreciated. If you want to check out fantasyfootballscout.co.uk, make sure to hit the link in the click the link in the description below and check out their members stuff. And subscribe if you're new around here. Muchos appreciated. Wonder if I'm going to win Patrick Van Arnold's prize. That'd be good. You've asked 20 times, Manuel Hazard. Did you count? Is it definitely 20 times? Did I not have Modern Warfare 2 left over from when you used to own it? I've got a feeling I probably got rid of it. If I didn't, it's possibly at my mum and dad's house. So I could get them to send it over, but I don't know. I think for me, that game will probably be... it's only going to be a limited amount of time that I actually play it. I don't think I'm suddenly going to start playing it for another year or anything. You were Master Prestige and Black Ops 1. Very nice. Thoughts on the UEFA Nations League? Is that like different to the Champions League? Thanks, John. Favourite takeaway, Andy? I don't know. I think it kind of changes depending on what mood I'm in. I always like Indian when I have it, but it's not something I tend to have as a takeaway that often. How old am I? Too old. I also like the fact that I've been asked what's my favourite curry by at least like 4 or 5 different people. See you later, Kyle. I should have said as well, I know like 200 people odd have already signed out, but the next stream will be Sunday. I'm happy about that all the games are finished by Sunday. It means the rank will be updated, my overall rank, my game week rank, my points. Bliss. And going into an international break as well. Lovely. What's my favourite? Have I ever played Overwatch? Yes. If so, what was your competitive rank? I was probably nowhere near a competitive rank. Predictions for United's group. I think, as strange as it sounds, that's probably going to be the kind of group that Mourinho will get out of. But it is tough. Valencia and Juventus. Fantasy Champions League, probably not. Yeah, no worries, Luke. I saw your message earlier. Actually, I didn't get a chance to get back to it. All good. There's a lot of streams. Appreciate everyone. Not everyone can get to every one. Even the older generation play Overwatch. What are you trying to say? Joker IPA. I'm not in England though. I really like the local IPAs actually. Really nice. There's one called Althea or Altea. So good. It's like 4.8%, but it's like you're drinking like a 3.5% or something. Leeds versus Borough Friday night prediction. I honestly wouldn't know enough, to be honest. Aren't Leeds doing really well though? I guess both are if they're top 2 clash. I think if Ramsey's going to play, he's a great replacement. Am I following the test match? No. Cheers for watching, Espen. How did you get onto the FPL Scoutcast, the Fantasy Football Scoutcast? Did you have to be a minimum rank for a number of years? This question comes up every now and again. Basically, I was a moderator on Fantasy Football Scout. I said at some point, you know, if you need someone, I'd happily try it out. And they were like, all right, let's get you on this week or the next week. I think it was pretty quick. I think someone had dropped out. Or Granville couldn't go or something. I can't remember. So I already had a mic, got a webcam, and just went on that week. And then I was just, to be honest, at the start, I was just because I was reliable, I think. I think even when Granville come back, we just did it with 4 people. And so, yeah, I was just reliable. I was always available every week. And just kind of stuck around. Outstayed my welcome, maybe. Will we have international break streams? No, it'd probably be the same kind of... Oh, God, I'm going to use a real business term now. It'd probably be the similar cadence. I hate that word. As normal. So I'll do a stream straight after... the Sunday games, and then there probably won't be another stream. There'll be videos though. Hopefully I'll do an extra video or two. There won't be another stream until before, unless something big happens, probably not until before the next game week on the Thursday. Can I purchase shares in your channel? Not yet. Will you answer my question? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Yeah, I'm gonna have to apologise and say I'm really sorry for using the word cadence. It's such a horrible business term. Like, who uses cadence outside of the workplace? Apart from me just then. Do 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 do. How much of your time does this channel take up? Probably more time than anyone. I know, like, it's so cliche for people that do YouTube stuff to say this, but way more time than you probably think it does. Like, I like doing the streams. I've thought about doing videos more, maybe cutting down to 1 stream and doing an extra video every week instead of 2 streams, because there's only... Unless something big happens, it's very hard sometimes to talk on the Sunday and then talk on the Thursday and have different answers. Now, some people will tune in differently, of course. And sometimes there's other stuff to talk about. But generally, like, my opinion won't change. Right? It's my opinion, so it is what it is. So I don't know. Maybe... And what I might try and do is, I tried it before, and it didn't work properly. And I don't know if it was my computer or the internet or what, but I tried to get someone on, but after a while they just stopped being able to hear me. It's almost like the computer couldn't keep up or something. So I might try that again. Maybe one I do on my own, then one I get someone on. I don't know. Sometimes the Game Week preview just repeats the stream. It does, but to be honest, the Game Week preview is not necessarily there for the people that watch the streams. It's for the people that don't want to watch the whole stream and want like all the answers in one place. That's kind of my thinking with it anyway. PUBG or Fortnite? PUBG, but I've not played either for a while. Methodology and Blue Sky thinking. Let's schedule a meeting and dig deeper. What do the people say? Let's take a deep dive into that. How much of your time does this channel take up? Again, I don't know. I mean, think about an hour. I've been streaming for an hour and a half, nearly. And I'll do that twice a week. So 2 to 3 hours for the actual stream. There's admin stuff outside of it. Especially with the Patreon and stuff like that. That takes a bit of admin work. There's stuff to prepare before the stream. Like, it's only changing images and stuff, but it takes time. I've got to come up and do that beforehand. The video, again, I've got to prepare that, record that. That depends how many takes I can do it in. To be honest, I can do the preview fast enough. Sometimes. But other times I'll get the wording wrong. Because of the way I deliver it, I do a lot of it in one take. Without cutting it all the time, without doing the jump cuts. The problem with that is, once you go like 5 minutes in, then you get it wrong. You've either got to do an awkward cut, or you just got to start again. So I tend to start again. But that can be painful when you keep messing stuff up. Like, sometimes even for the intro, the 40-second intro, I will do that 7 or 8 times. What graphics card do I have? A GTX 970, thanks to, I want to say, Alexander H, who sent it to me, who watches the stream, so thanks very much. So to put a number on the hours, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 hours a week? I don't know, maybe a bit less some weeks, it depends. See you later, George. Which other FPL players have I met in person? Mostly Scout people, but some of the former champions. So Pizza Hut or Domino's, probably Pizza Hut, but mostly Pizza Hut because in Ireland you don't really get Pizza Huts. You tend to get Domino's. So I've not had Pizza Hut in ages. Gasman, I answered the AGUERO triple captain at about 30 minutes in. If you want to go back to and watch it, should you watch my streams or study for exam? Go and study. Whichever FPL players, so Mark and Joe and Az, Simon March, former champion, Ben Crabtree, champion, Tom Fenley, he was a champion. You know, David, the editor of the Scout now, Granville, loads of people. Whoever goes to those events, Tom from Who Got the Assist, Nick from Who Got the Assist. FPL Chief Hints, FPL Hints from Twitter. Met him this time around. Yeah, do you earn money from YouTube? So this is almost like the hours thing. This is like the opposite. So the hours thing is like, it's more than you think. The money is much less than you think. Everyone has this like thought that YouTube is just like this easy money maker. I tell you now, it is not. I'm not quitting my job anytime soon, that's for sure. I find the money question for YouTube really weird because it's not just me, but I see people do it in other, like I watch gaming streams and game videos and they always get asked, and I just think it's so weird. Like when an electrician comes to my house, or like when the plumber was at the house the other day to fix the toilet upstairs, I didn't ask him how much he earns as a plumber. I don't get why people ask on YouTube. Maybe it's because it's so foreign to people, I suppose. Still, even though it's been around for so many years. Which events do you meet these guys at? So the Fantasy Football Scout do like what they call Scout Camp once a year. This year they invited a few more members of the community, which is cool. Hopefully it'll be even more next year. What advice do you have for someone doing their second year? Oh my god, these questions. Doing their second year of A-levels. I don't know, like just keep plugging away, I suppose. It's not the be-all and end-all, but you know, if you want to go to uni and stuff, it's still really important. So don't stress yourself about it. But my first year of A-levels, I did really well. Like in law, I did A-level law. I think it was scored out of 300 points when I did it, and in the first year I got like 278 or something. So I was only 22 points off getting full marks. But in the second year, I found the pub. And I think I got a D in the second year, but it come out to a B overall, just because I'd done so well in the first year. But yeah, I didn't have a great second year either. Just keep working at it. All right, people. Let's talk for another 4 or 5 minutes, turn into like 15 minutes. Yeah, I love that. Anyway, oh my god, there's so many questions coming in. I always like this part of the stream, but it's always at the end, and so I've already been streaming for so long. How old am I? Too old. How much does my plumber make? You made 50 quid off me. Scout cat. Okay, what you're envisaging. I mean, it's a lot of alcohol. The thing is, it's probably... I think everyone thinks... I don't know. Everyone probably expects us to go and discuss like loads of weird stuff, but everyone just talks about fantasy football. And why wouldn't they when that's all everyone's got in common? Have I ever been recognised? I think it's like 3 times maybe. There was once in Tesco, someone tapped me on the shoulder while I stood at a free... I was on my phone actually checking scores. Someone tapped me on the shoulder. I think they... I can't remember. I think the two people who recognised me, the first guy was from the Scoutcast. The second one I think was from the streams. And then the third guy was just the other day where I tweeted and he just shouted out 77 points to me from a car window. So I didn't get to talk to him. And someone tweeted me to say they'd just seen me but didn't want to come and say hello. So I found that a bit weird that he was like watching me and tweeting me. Go to bed. I will in a sec. Thanks, Mum. Yeah, just one more minute. Do people at my job know what I do? Yeah. In fact, just today I was stood at the salad bar at work and someone said to me, "Oh, I've seen your streams. Someone told me you were doing it." They're quite big into fantasy football at work. Where do I live roughly? To the west of England. Only just tuned in. What were the main points of the stream? Aguero, Trippier, Lingard, triple captain, Walcott, loads. Anyway, good night, people. For anyone that's just joined us, loads of questions already been asked. Rewind to the start, have a little watch. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I will see you on Sunday at 9:30 PM. It's been a pleasure.